CHUD is a 1982 science fiction horror movie starring John Heard and Daniel Stern. I'd seen the sequel a couple of times, but I'd never actually seen the original CHUD, and being on Amazon Prime, I thought, what the hell? I should be watching this kind of movie. A movie about something under the ground, coming up at night, capturing people, and they've never seen the light of day. Again, we've got lots of characters in this that are really kind of fun to follow around. We've got John Heard's Cooper character, who is a photographer, along with his wife, who's a model, are kind of the main players of this. He recently did some pictures of homeless people round about New York, so he has a kind of in with those people who are remarkably funny and unrealistic as homeless people. They feel like a lot of the homeless from Street Trash at certain points as well, and he kind of follows them and talking to them and understands that something is wrong, a little bit different under the ground. People are starting to vanish, strange things are starting to happen, and they're not quite too sure what's going on. We've also got Daniel Stern's Reverend character who looks like a bum himself and who is got a food kitchen trying to feed these people, but a lot of his regulars are starting to disappear, and he's reported it to the police, which is Captain Bosch, who comes into this one, the police officer whose wife has also disappeared, and he's kind of investigating what's going on. And there is a hint that there is something political behind this that is being covered up and nobody's going to discover. CHUD's kind of fun. It's not as great as I wanted it to be. It stands for Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dwellers. Gives you an idea what it is, and there's this whole subplot of nuclear waste, how it's affected certain people and turned them into these cannibalistic killers that are going to have to be stopped in the final third act of the movie. And it kind of ticks along, ticking the boxes of what you would expect. There is a political cover-up aspect of this movie that Captain Bosch gets to rally against. We've got the story of Cooper, his wife, their impending new child that's about to happen, the turn in his life, and of course the Reverend, who's probably the most expendable of the three main characters, who may or may not make it to the end of this movie. I kind of like the gross out gore that it has, sparingly when it does happen. I love the fact that John Heard is kind of the main character here, who actually does a pretty good performance as a photographer who doesn't like the kind of commercial trappings of his profession, and rather would do it for the art rather than the money. It's a fun movie. It drags a little bit in certain scenes, and it doesn't get to the fun stuff enough as I wanted it. It's not to say it's bad, it's just dated a little bit poorer than some of the other exploitation stuff. Feels as if it's very talky in parts and just trying to push home that typical environmental message that you got a lot in these kind of movies. I am very curious about going back and checking out CHUD 2, Bud the Chud, because I've not seen that in absolute years. Should I do that? Let me know in the comment box along with your thoughts of this movie, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.